Good evening, everyone. Today I wanted to touch base on memory lane, and I wanted us to all remember the days of our childhood. This is something that has been playing on my mind recently, and I think because we're in quarantine still, there's a lot of self-reflection time of what it is that you want to do in your life, and take some time for what it was that you thought you wanted to do with your life when you were younger. And I remember when I was about 9 years old, and I found a medal on the floor on my way home from school one day, and I picked up this medal, and I was very, very proud of myself, thinking I'm going to put a string on it, and I wore it, and went around telling my family, my friends, my aunties, my uncles that I had won this medal, and I was pretty chuffed with myself, and everyone congratulated me. But they didn't really ask me, maybe because I was 9 years old, what I got it for. But I was quite happy with wearing it all the time, and showing it off. But then that limited happiness didn't last very long, and mainly because in my heart I knew that I didn't earn it, I didn't deserve it, and I didn't work for it. So the moment I had that realization, I took that medal, I literally ripped it off my neck, and I chucked it in my cupboard. I knew from that moment that I wanted to deserve and earn a medal through the efforts of my own hard work. And at 9 years old, I had my first goal, which was to win a medal. For those of you that don't know, in Zimbabwe, you don't just win medals left, right, and center. You literally have to work for it and earn it. Not like my cousins in Mauritius, who would get medals for participation and for showing up. It was quite different. So, I had this determined thought that that is what I want to do. And fast forward to a couple of years later, I was probably 12 years old, just before high school. I finally achieved my goal, and I won first place in squash, and I won the gold medal, which was a very, very huge milestone in my personal life at that point in time. But it also set up a lot of things in my mind to get the momentum for my future life. Before that, I'd never played sport before, because I went to government schools. So government schools in Zimbabwe was free, and they focused on education, not extracurricular activities. So I don't play sport, besides obviously playing with my brother and my neighbors. But what happened is my dad got a job in a private school, and so it was compulsory to do one sport and one club. And so one of my friends asked me if I wanted to play squash, and I thought in my mind, I don't know what that is, but why not? So I showed up for the practice session, and literally after a couple of hits, I was asked if I wanted to play on the team, and me thinking I was really good, or you thinking that I was really good, I wasn't. I could just hit the ball a couple of times to the wall, and I didn't make the A team, I didn't make the B team, I didn't make the C team, but I made the D team, and there was 4 teams. So I was basically the last player on the D team because they had a need, which I realized much later. But that didn't stop me, because I actually really enjoyed squash, and I was really passionate about it at the time. And I knew that if I worked hard, I would one day win a medal. And it's crazy how when we reflect back to our days of our childhood, and we remember those days of how we thought, like, if that was me today and I was put in the D team of I don't know, the audit room, and I was the worst of the worst, that will play on your ego, that will play on your determination. You basically think that you're a failure, and you give up so easily. We give up so easily as adults, but I don't think that way. I worked hard, and we would have practice at school on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and every Friday night and Sunday mornings I'd have my own private practice, and I would also play on Saturdays with my mates as well. So practice makes perfect, and I kept getting better, because I'd obviously learn the skills, keep practicing, getting fit, play with people that were better than me, and progressively I got better and better, and I worked my way through the different teams from D all the way up until I was finally captain of the squash team, and got my medal. So it's crazy how that was a very significant milestone in my life. In my young life, I know I was very young at the time, but it set up things for me for the rest of my life in terms of my mindset, that I knew that at that point in time, whatever you want in life you can achieve if you put your mind to it, but you also need to believe and work hard. And we hear this all the time, but I want you to reflect upon the days of your childhood. Remember the days of your childhood. Remember all those things, all those values, all the the driving force behind what it is that you wanted to do, what it is or who it is that you wanted to be. And literally the sky was the limit, and you were invincible. It didn't matter what the rest of the world thought about you, or all these limiting beliefs that you couldn't make it. You didn't care. You were just like, that is my goal, that is my purpose, that is my aim, my objective, and I'm going to do it. And maybe during this quarantine period, we all sort of doing a bit of self-reflection, and this has been playing on my mind in terms of remembering the days of your childhood, and what was it, because now we have some time to take a step back and take a breather, and figure out and reflect where we were, where we are now, and where we want to be. So I just thought I'd share that with you, and absolutely love to hear your stories, and if you can share in the comments, because you will not only inspire yourself to remember, but you will also inspire other people that would read it. Peace.